Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm your host, Kimbo, podcast where we uncover the stories behind the creativity. Get ready to be inspired. So sit back and grab a slice of life.
I'm a Slice of Life podcast with Kimbo. Yeah.
What is up, you guys? We're back with an episode 3 with my friend here, Sydney Rose.
Hi.
She's my actual friend, guys.
Like, for real.
Sydney is a creative business and mindset coach, actor, and model. So we actually met on set, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
It literally was about 2 weeks ago.
It was, right? It
Yeah.
felt like so much long ago, but
No. Literally 2 weeks.
I don't know, we just clicked, and then we just became friends. And then she just so happened to live in the DFW area, even though we were on set in Austin.
Right? So what are the odds? Like, you're only an hour away from me, but it's still down the street.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna dive deep into what a creative and mindset business. Wait, what? What am I saying? What a creative business mindset coach is, right? I said that right?
Yeah.
That's a tongue twister.
Creative business and mindset coach.
Okay. So, what is a creative business and mindset coach?
Yeah. Should I keep looking at the camera? Sorry. Oh, snap. Don't put that in there. Cut. Okay, just playing. Okay, so a creative business and mindset coach. I help creatives, creative innovative leaders with personal branding and confidence building. But I literally had an epiphany last night to where I help people, creatives or small business owners enhance their online brand presence through making impactful content and by being themselves pretty much. So monetizing their brands online.
So, are there specific techniques or for enhancing the creativity thinking, outside the box? Just name a couple. I know there's probably a million, but
there's a million. I know for something that I do personally and for my clients that I do is gonna sound so cliche, but it's literally writing. J. Cole once said in an interview that when he literally is having a creative blockage when writing his music, he said he doesn't stop. You keep going, you keep fighting through it, because when you're quote unquote fighting through it, something happens, an idea sparks, and then you stop and then you look at it and then you're like, oh my gosh, I can make a song out of this, or I can do something out of this. Then boom, the inspiration comes through. So it's really writing and writing out your thoughts. We have 60,000 thoughts that people think every day. When we wake up to when we go to sleep, it's 60,000 thoughts. That's a lot of thoughts, Kimberly. That's right? Too many. It's too many.
And then sometimes they just overpower your mind.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them are sometimes mostly negative or sometimes positive, so when you constantly have those thoughts in your mind and you're not writing them down anywhere, it's you become overwhelmed and then you get stressed out, right? Even as a creative person, that's really that's when we have the self-doubt or the limiting beliefs, or we just get tired to even start the project. So I definitely suggest writing.
Would you say that's almost comes hand in hand with journaling? Or are those one and the same, or do you think that's the same thing?
Yeah, definitely think the same thing, because there's note taking, which is writing, but something that I do for my clients is I make them write out a visualization of how they want their creative journey to be, or what they imagine themselves in the present moment. So say, for example, tell me you want to be a famous podcaster, right? I would be okay, well, tell me I want you to write down what that looks like for you. And so subconsciously you'll just go through life with that mindset in your mind, because it feels so good to write it down and then to read it. And then if you read it out loud the next day and just keep doing that every single day, you'll be in that mindset wow, now I'm on YouTube, I have 1 million followers, now I'm doing conferences with my podcast, now I'm doing public, So that's where I have my clients do. So they're kind of writing it into existence, kind of scripting with manifestation.
I was supposed to say that was my next thing. So almost like manifestation.
Yeah.
Do you have sticky notes everywhere, or do you ever write on your mirror, or your restroom mirror, or your bathroom mirror? It's
Yeah, I used to when I lived with by myself, but my partner and I live together. So now I have notes on like near the light room door, like the switch, the from the light. So I have something there.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because you see it
Yeah,
every time you walk out the door.
exactly. And then I have my vision board of like what I want right next to my computer. I wish I see it every day. I sleep on the side of the bed, right, where when I wake up, I look over. That's the first thing I see
Your
when I
vision
wake up in the
board?
morning. Yes, like everything that I did was so intentional. Because when you first wake up, your subconscious mind is fresh. So that's why they say like if you like listening to subliminal YouTube videos or anything like that, it's best to listen to it when you're either going to sleep or when you first wake up, because your subconscious mind doesn't know what's true, what's not. It's still in that dream state. So imagine you have your vision board right next to your bed, right, and then you wake up. First thing you see, it's like, oh wow, that is me. Like, and then you just go through day feeling good because you can see it. It's there. You can grasp it. And so, yeah, yes, I do for the question.
Oh, that's very interesting. I like the light switch one. 'Cause, yeah, like everyone stares at their light switch when they turn it on and off, and when you
Exactly.
leave, like unless you like high electricity bills. But
No, for real. Like,
yeah, like
you have no choice but to look at it
yeah.
and read it.
Um, how can someone like overcome self doubt when pursuing their like creative passions? Because you know how like a lot of people get what's that? What is it called
Um,
when
Anxiety.
not anxiety syndrome? That what is
Oh,
that?
imposter
Yes,
syndrome.
there you go. Because when you're like, especially when you're on like social media, it's like it's hard to compare yourself to other people, like not to compare. So like,
Yeah.
how does one overcome self doubt?
Yeah, I love this question. I literally just had a coaching session, and we were kind of talking about that, but more so other things as well. And comparison is the greatest thief of joy, and you never know what somebody else is going through, and everyone's journey is so different. But like you said, comparison is hard when you want to be in that position, but we don't know what it took for them to be in that position.
Right.
And so for me, what I overcame was when I have negative beliefs about myself. So say, yeah, I may have 400 followers on Instagram, but I'm posting every single day,
Right.
and I see people that have 100,000. I'm like, oh, comparison can creep in. But then I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, it's a lie. Like, I don't suck at content creation. Like, I'm just getting started. So what I do is I just scream like it's a lie, either in my mind or out loud. So say making a video, I think it's really good, but I see somebody else's video and their video is the bomb. I'm just like, it's a lie. Like, my video is also good. Like, it's a fact, like every negative belief we have about ourselves, where's the evidence for it, right? Like, we measure and compare based on what other people's quality may look like, when we have to look at where we are, because everyone has a beginning and everyone has an end. So one of my techniques is to scream, it's a lie, and put emotion behind it, and just be like, it's not true. Like, I need to tell myself to shut up, like, stop talking, and then work at it and work through it. That's what I would say.
So just basically like feed your mind with
Feed your
positivity.
mind, yep, with positivity, especially about yourself. Like, all the limiting beliefs that we were told when we were children, now even, it's a lie. People seek validation from others when the only validation we really need is from ourselves. But then we get in that mode like, well, I don't want to approve my parents, or I don't want to let them down, disappoint them, or even as a child, someone may have told you weren't smart or something like that, and now you go through life trying to prove people wrong when you have nothing to prove to them. Because are those people paying your bills? Like, no. Are those people in your mind? No. Are they in, are they feeding in, are they even feeding you right now? Like, no, they're not. So you literally just have to live life for you, in a way.
I feel that. That's some good advice right there, guys. Y'all should write it down.
Period.
Do you have any tips in finding like inspiration, like staying motivated during the creative process?
Yeah.
Because like you get started and then you're like, okay, well, I'm not like where I want to be yet, but I'm keeping doing this, but it's like you see no progress. Like, how do you stay motivated? Especially like when it comes to like acting, it's like we do all these auditions, right? And then it's like okay, when am I gonna book one of these? Like,
Yeah.
I did like a numerous amount of auditions, and then it's like, okay, can you call me back, please?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so hard sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, like, how do you, like, what are the tips for staying motivated?
Coming from a person who's extremely self-motivated, it actually took me 7 years to even be signed, like with my agency. So I wanted to be a model since I was 12, right? And then I actually went for it at 20, but then I didn't officially get signed until I was 27. And so I went to school in Missouri, and I was going to modeling agencies and stuff like that. They would be like, no, your hair is too big, you may intimidate the photographer or something like that, which is crazy because nowadays, 7 years later,
that's unique. It's like, that's a unique look.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't know that at the time. And so I kind of felt kind of sad about that. But I was still in the fashion industry, whether I was a photographer or I did a fashion show at for this boutique that I was at. Right. And so I was still in the business. But I also had to know of timing as well. And I really took time for myself to heal and to write what I was telling you, to journal. Because when we write things down, things happen. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, like when you're journaling things like that, something were to happen, 2 years later, you look back and it's just like, oh my gosh, it freaking happened. But it took 7 years for me to even get signed. And like through that, for the motivation, it's like timing. We have to be patient. Life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I was listening to something that Gary Vee said, and he actually was like, people who want to go fast scare him, because like the people that we see now, it didn't happen overnight. It was like 5 to 10 years in the process, you know. Even Taraji P. Henson, I mean, she got pregnant, right, had a son, she couldn't finish school, or I think people told her she couldn't finish school, but then she did finish college. She graduated. Then she moved to California, and they were like, you can't move to California with a child, with a, you know, a single mother, but she did, you know, and now she's in her 40s, like getting the recognition, right? Even Angela Bassett, I think, finally won her Oscar or something like that. So it definitely takes time and to keep going. And also to slow down, because when we go fast, we miss things, we miss lessons, we miss like epiphanies, we miss breakthroughs. But when we're going slow and steady with our own pace, and not comparing our journey to other people, we finally get to be in our own head, our own mind, our own space, our own heart, like our own vision, you know, not what our parent or friend or cousin wants for us, but it's what we want. And so, I mean, I'm 28 talking like this, but last year I wasn't talking like this, you know? So I learned lessons last year to now that I didn't learn a couple years ago. So I'm definitely grateful for all those times that have passed. And also think about it, with what you want right now, do you think you would be mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared for it? Because when I got signed, I was, right? But when I wanted to be at 20, I wasn't healed. I was like low-key kind of depressed, and like I had anxiety, and I was just like sad, and I was dealing with trauma, and I was just, you know. But now that I've dealt with it, I got a therapist, I got a coach, I got a mentor, I wrote more, I was beginning to know who I was. Now I am ready for it, right? I'm more mature for it. So I think when people want to go fast, they miss things.
Right. So go slow and be patient. Yeah. And it will happen. Just keep doing the work.
That was a long answer.
Long-winded answer, but
yeah.
So these are the kind of conversations like you have with your clients, right? So you do one-on-one coaching?
Yeah, I do one-on-one coaching. I do have like a workshop on Meetup where I did do group coaching. But right now I like the one-on-one coaching just because I like getting to know someone, and I'm able to dive deep with them and get to know them, because some people want to share everything to you, but when they're in the room with other people, they're kind of like hesitant.
Are these sessions like 30 minutes or an hour, or they vary?
They're 60 minutes to 90 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's actually a long time.
It's a long time, but it seems so short. Like because of course everything can't be dealt with in one session. So I always suggest like 6 to 8 weeks for my program, but the hour to 90 minutes, definitely we do talk about a lot. Like, yeah.
Was it once a week or just however like they want?
Whatever they want, really. Like, it's customized. So like the client I was talking to earlier, she wants to do once a month. I have another client, we were doing once a week for a month, and then we went to once a month as well. It just depends on what people need, you know, and the guidance they're looking for.
So how do you market your like the creative mindset or creative business and mindset coaching? It's a tongue twister.
Creative, yeah.
How do you, like, promote yourself for people to be like, hey, I have this service to offer you?
Well, things like this. So thank you so much for hosting this platform. So definitely like going on podcasts, going to networking events. But what I've realized is that I can reach more people online. So I've really been dedicated to teaching myself like social media and marketing, content creation, psychology, you know, because I went to school for fashion communications, but I had to stop my junior year because my mom had gotten sick, but she's way better now, thank the Lord. And so in between that time, and there was still advertising that I was studying, but it was for fashion specifically. So now it's like I'm studying marketing wise for online and fashion and tech. So it's really fun. So that's what I've been marketing myself as. So networking, podcasts, talking to people. Yeah.
And then so you have like a specific website for that to book?
I have a link tree.
She has a link tree.
I have a link tree. Yeah.
You have to pay for those.
They're free.
Really? Because I tried to get like a link tree, and then I was like, for the podcast, and I was like,
no,
I'm not paying for
it's free. I literally have like
what?
7 websites on one. You pay for it when you want to personally do it yourself. Like, not personally do it yourself, but like say you want to have this like a logo like on the background, that's what you'll pay for. You pay for branding.
See, I just learned something new,
But
because
it's
I
free.
have some other, I don't know, it's like Beacons or whatever.
Beacons?
Yeah, but it's like a link tree, but it's called Beacons. But that one was free at first, so I was like, I'll just post all the website or like the YouTube, you know, podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. I was like, I'll just post it on there, and then because it was free and I'm cheap.
Girl, you know what? I was just watching a YouTube video with Chris Do. Shout out Chris Do. He is so smart. Like, if you want to know about personal branding and just business, your creative business in general, watch him on YouTube. Chris Do. Okay? D-O. Do. Anyways, he literally was saying that creative people, we always want to create, right? But when it comes to business and spending money, we're like cheap at that.
I know, yeah.
And it's a fact, because I'm like that way too. And so it was kind of like an epiphany moment, like, well, if I want help, if I want to seek help from someone that's also creative to help me with something, I'm going to have to invest, right? So to switch your perspective, not as saying like we're cheap, but it's like you want to invest in something, or you want to invest in what the platform that you need. And so that's what I thought was interesting, because he was like, we want to charge other people for our services and hoping that they pay for it, but then when we want to buy something for someone else, it's like, oh, $30? I don't know if I want to spend $30, right? So it's like, it's an investment. So I thought that was really true, that what he said, because I related to that.
Literally,
as well.
yeah. So if you guys can't tell, we upgraded here.
Yeah.
We got this little backdrop. Okay, it did take a season and 2 episodes to upgrade, but you know, we're going strong.
But you did it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like you said, investing, because
it's investing.
It will make. I was tired of seeing those, but you can't see them now because it's in the way. But I was tired of seeing those windows, like they kind of like were overpowering sometimes with the sunlight. So
yeah, think about it. Every investment,
Yeah.
you get bigger, you get better, you improve something.
And then I think that's how like people are like, okay, oh, I see that, and then they'll like reach out to you, like,
Yep.
you know, like, oh, she's growing, she's doing this, she's consistent. I
Yeah.
want to be a part of what she's a part of.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not a lover of money, but I'm a lover of resources. So I like using money for a resource to buy things like this, to upgrade my mic equipment, or to get a new phone so I can have better quality camera when I'm doing content, right? Or to buy a new computer. It's a resource. So it's not like I'm buying something as materialistic just to have,
Right.
but it's like as a resource. So even like switching your mindset for that, it's as a resource.
That's interesting. Do you write down stuff like, instead of saying this, I can say this, as far as like mindset stuff?
Yeah, I read this, and I'm just shouting out some people that I've watched and read, because I want to be honest, like these thoughts are not like what I'm sharing doesn't come from just myself, you know. But her name is Julia Cameron, and she wrote The Artist's Way, and she suggests that people like write out their negatives 3 times, and then you write the opposite to the positive. So say the negative is just like, I'm not a good communicator. Okay, that would be the negative. So the positive of that would be when I speak, people listen, right? And so when you're reading it, and then she tells you to read like the negative and the positive and read it like together, but your mind will automatically switch to the positive, because it's like, I don't want to listen to like the negative. And then as you go throughout life, you become a better communicator. When you talk, people want to listen to you. You have presence, you know. So definitely, yes, I've done that before.
Yeah, I need to really write down. I've always, something's like telling me in the back of my head, like, you write stuff down, but like I haven't gotten the, I don't know what you want to call it, because I write down my questions, but I haven't like write down like stuff for me personally, you know. I haven't had that, I don't know, motivation, I guess, or
what's stopping you?
I don't know, because I'm like, if I'm sitting at home, I'm literally just on my phone, like I could be writing stuff down instead, you know.
Yeah.
So
what's on your phone that just has you distracted?
Social media.
But why?
And that's hard.
Are you searching for something on social media, like inspiration?
No, I'm just no. Like late at night, I'll just be scrolling.
What would it look like for you to like leave 10 minutes for you to start writing, just to start?
Well, like to put my phone down and then just like write.
Yeah.
What would it look like? I'd probably like stop having this voice in the back of my head telling me to write something.
Yeah. Should try it. You can even set a timer, you know, just 10 minutes. 10 minutes goes by really fast. That's why I said 10 minutes. But when you're writing for the first time, it can seem for a long time. But that's what you should try it. You know, just next time you catch yourself on the phone and you're just like sick of it,
yeah,
put it down for 10 minutes and just get your journal out and just start writing something. Just freeball. Be like, if you want to even start with blah, 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 like start with blah, blah, blah.
I think that's because I don't know what to write.
Yeah.
Like I have all these thoughts, but it's like, how do I lay them down on paper?
And the thing is, like, it's your thoughts. So it doesn't even matter how you layer it or structure it. You can just start, hi, my name is Kimberly, blah, blah, blah. And then, but your mind wants to write. Your mind wants to talk, you know, because those are our thoughts. We're talking to ourselves. So imagine you had a pencil and paper and you just start and then next thing you know, you just start writing out your whole life, your whole life story, how your day went. But I do know that people do struggle with what to write about. So sometimes I come up with like prompts, and then the prompt would be, if you could be who you want to be, you know, what would that look like? Something, you know, practical like that.
So yeah, like a topic or
subject. And then they'll find themselves talking about something else.
Okay, I think that's a little bit easier than just going blank space, you know? What's your advice on like pursuing and following your dreams, whether it's teaching others about, you know, creative and business mindset, or acting, modeling? Like what would you say your advice is? My advice for people who want to be creative, pursue their dreams. Yeah, I would say to take the risk. I think creative people, we are risky people, like at fault, but we don't want to admit it sometimes due to like family telling us that we should be a doctor or engineer, you know, or a cop. Random thought, you know. And so they're like, there's no money in creativity, but that's such a lie, because now all of a sudden there is, right? There's people like
Kanye West, people like Christo, who he literally just makes logos, and then he started charging like 10 grand for a logo, and now he has a whole branding agency, you know. So there's money in it. But I think the art schools, I personally went to an art school, but it fails us because it teaches us to be creative, but they don't teach us the business part of it. And so when we get out there in the world, that's where all the creatives struggle, because we know how to create. We'll create all day, you know, but then how do we make money from the creation? And that's something that they don't teach us. They don't teach us finances or how to do taxes, you know, for your creative business. It's just, here, create. Okay, go be good. Go work for somebody else. Go work for a newspaper. Go work for a brand agency, you know. That's it. Good luck. But they don't teach you the accountant side of it, the business side of it, which is the most important. It's probably 60%. And then the art itself is like the 40%, you know? So I would say take the risk, find something that you do want to do. You don't necessarily have to have a niche, because you are the niche. People are buying you at the end of the day, based on your energy and how you dress, how you talk, you know, who you are. People will buy from that, and they want to know who's making the art. Who's creating the movie, the music video, the picture, the podcast. They want to know who you are. That's why, you know, nowadays the trend is to post behind the scenes content.
Right.
Because people want to know who's this person, you know, and then that's what makes them buy. So I feel like the creatives, we're in a rise right now. We're in a new era. I have been seeing a lot of layoffs on LinkedIn, because I'm also on LinkedIn, and there's been a lot of layoffs with creatives. But I'm going to post, like, this is literally a rise for the creatives, because who wants to sound like a robot? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like with AI and stuff like that. I like AI, but as creativity, like, who wants to look at an ad that a robot made? You know, like, do we all want to be robots in 5 years? No. People want to know, like, people want to have human connection. So creatives are literally on the rise right now, and digital content like this, everyone can be an entrepreneur. Everyone can be a content creator, a small business owner. Just get out there. If you don't think you're creative, you're telling yourself a lie. Again, like, you don't have to identify as a creative to be creative. You can be a real estate agent and do something like this, you know, and make money off of it. Like, it's a new era. The jobs of being an employee, like, it's kind of dying now, you know, because people are finding out that they can make money with monetizing their podcasts, with making music videos and monetizing their videography, right? Their photography. I have an Airbnb experience. Like, I'm a photographer on there. I monetize off that, you know? So people who have those skills, we're definitely going to be wanted.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless. Like,
Literally.
There's so much creativity in this world. It's like, just go out there and create.
Yes, that and money. Like, there is space for all of us, because everyone has their own market. Mm-hmm. Before, I didn't think that. Before, I was just like, who wants to learn from me? But you have your own market. People connect to who they connect with, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So go out there, guys.
Just do it. Do it like Nike.
Right? Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, they don't know.
I know, they don't know. It's a secret we can't tell y'all yet.
I love it.
What's your favorite pizza?
I guess it's gonna have to be cheese.
No, say what's your favorite pizza, even though we just have cheese right here, guys.
My favorite pizza is from Pie Tap. I would say Pie Tap.
Okay, I've been there before.
Yes, they have a nice basil veggie pizza, and they have a nice mushroom pizza with like egg on it, and you can cook the egg to be scrambled, and the bread is just so good, and like, it's kind of like flat, but it just tastes authentic. And the crust is organic, so it's gluten-free, and it's literally, I think there's no yeast in it. Maybe there is yeast. I don't know, but I forgot what he told me what the ingredients were, but it only had like 3 ingredients, pretty much.
Oh, okay. So, the healthy kind.
The healthy kind. But it's so good. The Pie Tap is bomb.
I've been to Pie Tap, but I think there's one in Dallas that I went to.
Yeah, it's bomb.
Yeah. Pie Tap. There's so many different kind of pizzas. Like, every time I ask people what their favorite pizza is, they always like tell me different. I was like, what? I've never heard of that. Like, it's so interesting too.
Pizza is one of my favorite foods, because every restaurant makes it different.
Yes. It's like,
Yeah,
you can have pizza so many different ways.
exactly. If you get a burger, it's gonna taste like a burger, but a pizza, like, it's gonna taste different every time. Like, it's amazing.
All right, guys. Thanks, Miss Sydney Rose, for coming on to my podcast. You know, sharing. You have a lot of wealth of knowledge, so it's going to be hard for me to pick out the good parts.
Oh, I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes, y'all follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Coach S Rose, and then my link tree is -- Coach S Rose as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm like, is it? I changed it, so I'm just like, yes, it is. It's Coach S Rose at the end of the link tree. Yeah, it is. Yeah, girl, I be changing my links because I want to make it easy for people to find me, you know?
I know. I changed my username on Instagram, and it says like 3 eyes. And then when I try to give my username to someone, and they're like, that's a lot. And I was like, okay, I gotta go back and change it. I just don't know what though, because it's like, no, usernames are never ever, like, they're always taken, like the simple ones. Can I just have my name and call it a good? But no, it's like username not available.
So my username used to be Sydney R. Williams. That's why I was like thinking about it. But I'm like, that's a long name. And so I was just like, you know what? I'll do Coach Sydney Rose, but that was still long. So then I just went to Coach S Rose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so initials.
Yeah, because clearly my double letters was like, someone was like, that's a lot of eyes. I was like, sorry. It had like 3 eyes. I was like, okay, I'll change it again. But I just haven't.
Girl, 3 eyes is not bad.
I had to think about something.
Yeah, 3 eyes is not bad.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another season here. Episode 3, YouTube fam. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. You can find Kimball's Slice of Life on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We will see you guys in 2.
Bye.